Enough of this modern malarkey, let's go back to the 80s where everything was better so long as you didn't go outside. Welcome to the Ballerama, where we take a look back at when Konami was churning out classic after classic. And speaking of churning, what you'll experience here is every single bright colour imaginable. This is Scramble. The coin is going in, we have the semblance of some music. Let's get ready to start. So this is a 2-button game, one for shooting, one for bombing. I do have auto fire on because I'm a scrub, but even then there's a maximum number of bombs I can shoot out. And that'll be a lot of the challenge later on, releasing bombs at the right moment. When I can, I want to be like this at the bottom so I can shoot things point blank. At the top, you'll see where I am in the world, 5 distinct stages and a base. At the bottom, you'll see what should be the main mechanic, fuel. It'll go down bit by bit, and the way to refuel is blowing up fuel canisters, like these two coming up here that I have got. Hooray! The stages serve as a checkpoint system as well, and since there's no power-ups at play, then it means that there's not much love lost in a lost life. I have a feeling that the game will even take pity on you and shorten certain stages upon repeated death. Here comes the next stage, flying saucers, and you might be able to pick out a key issue here. I'm the only one shooting. Konami would of course fix this for the sequel, but 1981 was a place for experimentation, and it doesn't mean there isn't danger. The movements are erratic and my ship is slow. If I miss them with my shot, I could do something stupid and ram into them instead. And I've still got to manage my fuel and release a ton of bombs to keep the gauge up. Okay, stage 3, not much we can do here but dodge. The vertical movement is a struggle here. I like to stay towards the middle just for a bit of wiggle room, but it's not great for the fuel. Any of these shots with pinpoint accuracy is only the result of 20 plus playthroughs and a lot of swearing on my part. Oh, I've got an extra life by the way for 10,000 points. Go me. You'll see the little dual ships at the bottom every now and then. Of course, they're worth more points. And at this point of the stage, I'm just hoping it ends. I need that delightful respite. Here we come, change of colour, and who'd have known that we have bricked apartment blocks on this side of the moon. I don't like these rockets, you can see why. They are motion sensitive as to when they go up, and if you stay at the back then you might not have enough time to dodge out of the way. But even then, not all of them are going to go up. I'm okay for fuel at least, and my least favourite part is coming up. They are slightly underneath, so protected by the walls. I'm getting quite lucky in that some of them went early. And this here is a colour scheme, early 80s, let's use all the colours. But this was unknown territory for video games, and it'd be 6 months before Vanguard came out and would settle on one colour scheme per stage. And my eyes are burning. Okay. Right, I'm going to curse this run though and point out that despite my retinas, I haven't lost a life yet, and this is the final stage, this is the base, this is where I need a stupid amount of accuracy for what has been quite an open game so far. There is very little margin for error. You'll see I have to go far in front and diagonal back to maximise the time I have. If I get that wrong, I go squish, and these tunnels, if I twitch up or down, I have to start this stage again. There's barely enough room for my ship to pass through. But no risk of fuel, here comes the ending of it. Am I going to get it? And nope, not like that. But this is where the game has finally taken pity on me. Now I only have to do the final bit, one superbly placed bomb, or maybe a shot if I'm bad. And there we go. Congratulations, I am a winner. And, as was the tradition at the time, we start again. As far as I can tell, there's no difference in the looping. Maybe they go a little bit faster, but I'm not really interested in timing it. But of course, what later shmups would do to achieve higher difficulty in further loops is not possible here because there are no shots. And so the driver here is what the driver had been. Go on until you can't go anymore and rack up the score. My high score at this point wasn't even a 2-loop score. I just scored well on the lives I had remaining. Maybe my fuel gauge goes down faster since I'm running a little bit low at the moment. That would be a nice mechanic to get people off the machine. From this run though, I'll make it to the end parts of the second loop. I am taking this opportunity to look through high scores. Yep, each loop does speed up fuel consumption, and the high score is a whopping 1 million. I will end this run far away from that, and I've only just now got my personal high score. There's also a difference in version. I'm playing the Stern version, which is apparently harder than the normal Konami version when it comes to fuel consumption. You're able to tell this from the very first screen as to who the copyright goes to. If you're on Mr. Like Me, then there's only the Stern version and a bunch of European bootlegs. If you're playing this on Arcade Archives or Konami Arcade Classics, which are effectively just the hamster ports bundled up, then it's just the Konami version. Since I own the latter, I might give it a go at a later opportunity to see if that's true. But there's not much else to really talk about in terms of this game. I'm still doing rather well. The crash is coming, don't worry. But for an early 80s game, it's surprisingly playable. In fact, that's going to be a theme for a lot of the shmups from this era, or at least shmups which are worth remembering. Vanguard is later in the year, that is fun. There'll be Defender, Tempest, Centipede, Zaxxon, Xevious, Robotron, and more. And there we go, that's my first life lost on this loop. But, you know, these games would set the stage for the next evolution in the mid-80s with the likes of Gradius and co, making the golden age truly golden. But Konami would be back, of course, very quickly in fact, with Super Cobra. There goes my second life. We'll come to it one of these days, but until then, thanks for watching, enjoy the embarrassing game over, and until the next time.